Hi TCC friends, it's Bonnie here with a rolling pin. I hope most of you have one of these at your homes, and if you don't fret, because if you happen to have a dowel, a long spoon, a piece of PVC piping, that will also work for this workout. But I think many of you, if not all, will have a rolling pin that turns out it's a fabulous Pilates plot. So we're going to put this into use with a standing workout, and then I'll follow it with a mat workout, still using the rolling pin. All right, we may start a new trend, who knows? So please hold on to the edges of the rolling pin, put your hands down, point your toes forward, widen your collarbone, level out your chin, lift up your kneecaps. And let's start the session by breathing. Take an inhale through the nose. Feel your ribs go out to the side. Exhale through the mouth through pursed lips and draw those ribs in. Inhale here again and reach up through the crown of your head as the ribs expand. And as your ribs contract, keep the length you've established in your spine. Inhale here, get long through the spine as the ribs go out laterally. As you exhale, the ribs come in, you keep the length in the spine, and I'd like you to pull out your feet from one another so you wake up the whole outer line of your leg. Inhale here and hold that, and exhale, let it go. Inhale again, lengthen through the spine as you widen through the ribs. As you exhale, get narrow through the ribs as you keep the length in your spine, and pull your inner feet together so you wake up the whole inner line of the leg, from the inner ankle to the inner knee to the inner groins. Inhale, hold that, and exhale, let it go. One more now. Inhale, reach up through the top of your head as your ribs expand. As you exhale, keep the length, pull the ribs in, pull the inner feet, the inner legs together, and pull up on your pelvic floor until you feel your low belly start to engage. Inhale here and hold that. Exhale and hold that. Inhale, get longer, let your ribs expand as you hold that pelvic floor engagement. And exhale, slightly let it go. And let's get ready to move. We're going to start the workout this morning with a flow. So the first time we do a move in the flow, we'll do it 4 times. When we start repeating that movement, we'll do it twice, and the new movement will be added 4 times, and we'll keep adding like that. So lift up through the crown of your head, widen through your collarbone, draw your chin to your chest. I want you to flex down until the roller comes as low as it possibly can. Take an inhale here at the bottom, and on the exhale, start lifting your pelvic floor, then your navel, and then start stacking your vertebrae, one at a time, until you come up to stand and widen your collarbone. Again, inhale, and exhale, you're rolling down. You keep the roller close to the front of your legs. Inhale at the bottom. On the exhale, don't forget first the pelvic floor, then the navel. Then you come up to standing slowly and carefully, widen through the collarbone. The head and shoulders are the last thing to come into line. We have 2 more. Flex down. If you need to bend your knees, it's fine. Inhale and exhale, come up, widening through the collarbone. And we have 1 more. Inhale and exhale, go down. Inhale at the bottom. And exhale, come all the way up and release. That's move number 1. We're going to start the flow again and do this movement twice. And the new movement that we'll add on, we'll do 4 times. So take an inhale, lengthen, and on the exhale, keep the length throughout the whole body as you flex over. Inhale here at the bottom. Exhale, come all the way up at the top, widening through the collarbone. Here's the second. Inhale. And exhale, go all the way down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, come all the way up. When your collarbone is wide and you're standing up, you're going to reach your arms in front of you at shoulder height. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. Then draw your shoulder blades towards your spine and release those shoulder blades away from the spine. You notice that my arms are moving, but it's only because my shoulder blades are moving, not because they're moving independently. Retract and protract. Retract and protract. Bring them to a center place in the shoulder socket. Lower the arms. Let's start from the beginning again. We're going to flow down and stand up and flow down. Inevitably the shoulders protract here, but you bring them back to a neutral position as you stand up. You reach the arms forward, you retract those shoulder blades, and you protract them. You reach back those shoulder blades, you protract them, bring them to a center position in the shoulder socket, pull your ribs back, reach the roller over your head, and bring it down. Reach that rolling pin right up, and bring it down. Lift it up on the inhale, and exhale brings it down. Don't let your tummy bulge forward or your thighs bulge forward. Inhale, and exhale, drop your arms starting from the beginning. We're going to flow down on the exhale and come up on the inhale. One more time. Go down and come up. Widen through the collarbone. Make sure your arm bones are centered in the shoulder socket. Bring the rolling pin up and retract and protract and retract and protract. Bring it to a center position in the shoulder socket. Lift the rolling pin up to the ceiling. Bring it down. Control those hips. Control those thighs. Bring it up. Keep your head in the middle of the rolling pin. And side bend right. And side bend left. And side bend right. And side bend left. We have 2 more sets. If you can keep those upper arms aligned by your ears or in back of your ears, it would be wonderful. Come back, lower the arms starting from the beginning. We're going to flow down and stand up. The spine should be starting to feel very warmed up. And come all the way up. Make sure that you're standing nice and straight. Reach your arms out. Retract and protract. Retract and protract. Arm bones come back into the middle of the shoulder socket. They lift up. They go down. They lift up and they hold. We're going to go over to the opposite side that you started with last time. And now the first side. Good. And your second side. And your first side. Now stop here with your arms lifted, and my palms are facing forward now. You probably can't see them. I'm going to turn so that my palms are facing backwards and my thumbs are out, my pinkies are in. And then without moving my upper arms and pulling my ribs back and my tailbone down, I'm going to bend the elbows and straighten. The elbows remain parallel, bend and straighten. They bend, they straighten, they bend, they straighten. You're going to drop your arms and flip your palms. Starting from the beginning, we're going to go down and come back up. Flexion seems easy at this point, I should imagine. And come back up, widening the collarbone. You're going to reach your arms out in front of you. Retract and protract. Retract. Protract, bring them to the center of the shoulder socket. Pull your ribs back, your thighs back as your arms lift and lower. The arms lift and they stay there. Going to your first side now, we're going 1 and to the second side. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Keep your arms where they are. Turn your palms so that they're facing backwards. Maybe move those arms back if you can. And bend your elbows and lengthen. Bend your elbows and lengthen. Now lower your arms in front of you. Palms are facing up or down if you choose. Shoulders are soft. Keep your hips stable and rotate from the waist and above to one side, keeping your nose aligned with the middle of the rolling pin. And first side and second side. And first side, and second side, one more, and first side, and second side, drop your arms. Finished with the flow. Have one more thing that I want to do before we finish it completely. Have the rolling pin in back of you. Have your palms facing forward, your thumbs outward, and widen through the collarbone. I'd like you to flex down again this time and roll down the back of your legs as you do that with your rolling pin. Roll down far as you can go. Head is hanging. You're looking at your knees. And then take the rolling pin in your hands. You can bend your knees if you need to. Stretch your chest forward and your arms backward. They're coming parallel to the floor with your upper back. And then go down into flexion. Come up with a straight parallel back and go down. Reach your chest forward and your arms backward and go into flexion. And we have one more. Arms back, chest forward, shoulders retracted, legs really working. And stand up straight and bring the roller into your right hand. You know, if you follow my classes, that I love to do arm work, and the roller turns out to be a very handy thing to do arm work with. So putting the roller into whichever hand you want to begin with, we're going to work one arm at a time, and that will challenge the stability of the opposite side of our body. I'd like you to sweep the arm up straight so that it's immediately in front of your shoulder. All right, now keep the upper arm where it is, and you're going to bend your elbow. When you're there, you're going to punch the ceiling and bring it down. Lengthen it forward, bend it again. You go up, down, out, in. 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 Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. This is the last one. And stop. All right, now all I want you to do is pivot your upper arm so that the rolling pin comes across your body to the other shoulder. And then pivot it this way. Pivot it down, pivot it up. Pivot it down, pivot it up, pivot it down, pivot it up, pivot it down, and hold it there. You're going to move your elbow from in front of your shoulder to pointing to the side wall. Make sure your elbow hasn't dropped, but it's at the same level as your wrist, which is at the same level as your shoulder. And then punch straight forward and then out to the side. Punch straight forward and out to the side. And exhale, inhale, and exhale, inhale. We have 4 more. It's 4 and 3. Watch your posture here. And 2 and 1. Good. Bring it back to a right angle at the elbow, and then you're going to pivot this arm again so that the hand points to the ceiling and the hand points forward. To the ceiling and 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 hold, and then we're going to punch the ceiling completely and then out to the side wall. You straighten to the ceiling, you straighten to the side. It's exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale. You have 4 more. Up, down, out, in. Up, down, out, in. 2 more. Up, down, out, in. Starting to feel it in those deltoids. Out, in. Good. Hold it here. You're going to pivot this upper arm bone again in the shoulder socket till it points all the way down and then all the way up. All the way down, all the way up. All the way up, down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. Hold it there, and you're going to punch the floor and to the side, to the floor and to the side, to the floor, to the side, to the floor, to the side. It's 4 3, don't forget to breathe rhythmically, and 2, and 1. Drop your arm, do a little shoulder roll, pass the roller to the other side. Are we ready to go there? It's the same thing, just mirroring it. I have it in my left arm, perhaps it's in your right if you're mirroring me. You're going to reach the arm up in front of your shoulder, bend the elbow, make sure that the elbow doesn't turn out as you bend it, and start by punching the ceiling and then reaching forward. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. If you're counting, you know that we're doing 8 of these, each one. But in the pivots, we only do 4. 2 more. And 1 more. Bring it back to a right angle, and then we're going to pivot so that the roller is kind of pointing towards the other shoulder, and then come back. And pivot, and release. And pivot, and release. And pivot, release, pivot, and hold. You're going to move this elbow out to the side until it comes in line with your shoulder. And then punch forward and reach outward. Punch forward, reach outward. Punch forward, reach outward. Punch forward, reach outward. We've got 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We end with the right angle at the elbow, and we're pivoting up and pivoting down. Up and down. We're parallel to the wall, we're parallel to the floor. The next time it goes up, you're going to hold it there and reach for the ceiling, reach for the side wall. Reach for the ceiling, reach for the side wall. Now if your rolling pin has a little weight in it, mine is wood and pretty heavy, I'm feeling this. Probably doesn't weigh more than 1.5 pounds, but it does weigh that 1.5 pounds, and we're doing a lot of repetitions. We've got 1 more. Ending at the right angle, we're pointing upward, and now pivot until you're pointing down. Up and down, and up and down, and up and down. Hold it down, and we're going to punch the floor, reach to the sidewall. Go to the floor, go to the sidewall. Make sure that that shoulder blade is definitely on your ribs in the back, and that you're not elevating your shoulder as you're doing this move when you pill that elbow up. 3 more. Now 2 more. Last one. And put it down and give yourself a little bit of a release. Bring the roller into the back of you again. Have the palms forward, the thumbs out, just like we did before. Pull your shoulder blades slightly back, pull your tummy up and in, your ribs back, your thighs back, your tailbone down. And all I want you to do is reach the roller back as far as it will go, but don't let your tummy and your ribs come forward, and bring it down. Exhale and inhale. And you know, everybody's range of motion here is quite different. Just make sure that the arm bone is not rotating forward in the shoulder socket as you do this. And really control the response of your body to this. Good. Hold it here with the roller against the back of your thighs. Try to keep your elbows parallel or even pinching towards one another as you roll up and roll down. So elbows come toward one another and then go down and straighten. They come toward one another, and you'll find out that it's hard to keep them coming toward one another as you do this. Good. We've got 2 more. 1 more. keep them squeezing. And release. Good. I want you to step back with the far leg, whichever it is, away from what you're looking at. Okay, so I want your front leg to be bent, the back leg to be straight-ish. Okay, and you're going to raise your arms up. You're going to turn toward the front leg, keep your back arm up, and your front arm is going to come and reach to the opposite heel. And do a little bit of an extension here, and reach through I have the left side of my body just really stretching, and come back. Bring the roller over your head, maybe in back of your ears. Pull those ribs in, bend your back knee, and go down as close to the floor as you can, and just hold it. Stand up, and let's do it on the other side. I'm going to step back with the leg near to me, which is my right, bending the left. The rolling pin is in the hand that's parallel or on the same side as the front bent leg, and you're going to reach your arms up, twist, and you're going to bring the rolling pin to point to the ankle of the other leg, and really stretch through the front of my right side. Coming back, I'm going to put my hands on the rolling pin, lift it over my head. Now, if that's really uncomfortable for you, you could certainly hold the rolling pin out in front of you. Okay? Toes are turned under in the back. Now bend the knee and go down as close as you can to the floor without touching, and just hover. And then stand up. Good. We're getting there. Let's do some standing hips. I love standing hips because it challenges your balance and it works your abductors, and it gives you a centering feeling that you have to really maintain center. So, I'm going to be working what is for me my right leg, and therefore I want the rolling pin in my opposite arm, which will be my left. Okay? The other hand is at my hip. And we're going to lift the arm to shoulder height along the side of the body as you simultaneously lift the leg to the side with the toes pointing forward, so it's definitely an abduction, and you're working the abductors, not the quads. If your toes turning out, you'd be working more the quadriceps. Okay, so toes forward, and let's just lift the right leg and lift the left arm and bring them down. Now, if that toe doesn't have to ground when it comes down, don't ground it. Just let it hang. We have two more. Good. One change. Instead of lifting from the thigh to the shoulder level, I want you to bring the rolling pin out at shoulder level to begin with, and as you lift the leg, you'll bring the arm out without particularly moving the body. Okay, so are we ready here? The right leg is going to lift, the left arm goes out and in. This is horizontal abduction and adduction. 4 and 5 and 6, 2 more, and 7 and 8. All right, now we're going to have it in the left hand, but every time we change the leg, we're going to change the arm. So you're going to have both arms out to begin with, okay? Going to lift that right leg again. It's in your left arm. Come back and pass it to your right, and your left, and your right, and your left, and your right, and left, and right. One more on either side. Left, and right, and stop. We've got one more here. We're going to do 3, and then on the third, instead of just passing it across, we're going to pass it under the moving leg. So I'll do it once in case you don't understand what in the world I'm talking about, which is totally possible. You're going to reach the arms out. So we're going to do 1, pass the roller. 2, pass the roller. 3, pass it under your leg, reach out past the roller. It's 1 and 2 and 3 under your leg and out past the roller. It's 1 and 2 and 3 under your leg past the roller. One more. Out, change, out under your leg, reach out, come back. Good. Flex your hips a little bit, bend your knees just so that you can get rid of that little ache that's happening in your abductors on this side, and we'll get ready to do it on the other side. This time I have it in my right hand, my left leg is going to be moving, and I'm going to be really careful that the toes point forward and not out to the outside. Okay, so put your weight on your standing foot, and the roller lifts and the leg lifts simultaneously. And if you can resist grounding the leg when it comes in, do that. You get more work out of it that way. We have 2 more. Excellent. Now the arm comes forward and it goes out and in at shoulder height. Ready? Here we go. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3. 2 more. It's 2 and 1. We're going to add the change, so we start with both arms adding out. Still it's in the same arm on the first one. So you go out and change hands. Out, 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 change hands. 1 more on either side. And stop. And now we add the crazy one, where we go under the leg on the third one. So I think we did 4 on the last one, and I think we should do 4 on this one. All right, so we both start. It's going to go into my right hand, maybe your left if you're mirroring me. All right, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 under the leg and reach out. And it's 1 and 2 and 3, reach under the leg, reach out and change. 1 and change, and 2 and change, and 3, reach under the leg, and first side, and second side, and third side, reach under the leg, and we're done with that one. Okay, just 1 more to work our legs a little bit before we break this standing workout, and I'll interrupt and start a second video where I'll go down on the mat, still using the roller, and do a nice workout on the mat using the roller. It's convenient for me to break them up into 2 videos because I have to change the position of the camera and it takes a little bit. Okay, so that's my reason for it. So this is going to be squatting and lunging. So I'll show you to begin with. When we squat, you're going to sit back, keep your chest lifted, reach the roller out in front of you, and stand up. Simple enough. Okay, when you step back with your right leg, instead of having it in your right arm, you're going to have your arms reaching out and bring it in your left arm and come back up. If you step back with your left leg, you're going to bring it out in your right. So whichever leg you're stepping back with, you're going to have the roller in the opposite leg. So let's just start now with 4 squats. Okay, so facing forward, widening your collarbone, feet are just hip distance apart. Keep your belly lifted, your pelvic floor toned, and go down. And stand up. 2, sit back in that chair, weight on your heels, 3, and 4. Good, all right, that's the squats. Now, we're going to squat and lunge. So I'm just looking back at me, see how I'm going to hit the wall. All right, so we're going to squat down, but when we come back in a lunge with the right, we're going to have it in our left hand. Now we're going to squat, Step back with the left, have it in the right hand. And squat. Backward lunge. And squat. Backward lunge. Good. One more. On either side. Step back with the right. Squat. Step back with the left. Okay? So I'm going to do similar, but instead of stepping backwards, we're going to do a side lunge. Remember, when you do the side lunge, the leading leg bends, the trailing leg stays straight. We're going to still have it, which if you're leading with the right, the left arm is going to go out. If you're leading with the left, your right arm goes out. Can we do that? All right, so we're going to squat and side lunge. Let's go. So it's squat, stand up, side lunge, and squat, stand up, side lunge to the other side. And squat, stand up, side lunge, and squat, stand up, side lunge. And squat, stand up, side lunge, 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 and stop. So I'm going to try to put that together, okay? So what we'll do is squat and step back with the right, squat, step out to the right, and then we'll go to the left side, okay? Let's see if we can pull that off. So we're not alternating sides when we change from the back lunge to the side lunge. I think it'll be easier on your brains. Widening the collarbone. Let's get ready to move. I hope that your legs are enjoying this. So let's squat, stand up, back lunge, and squat, stand up, side lunge. Now the other side, squat, back lunge with the left, and squat, side lunge with the left. Now squat, back lunge with the right, and squat, side lunge to the right. And squat, back lunge with the left, and squat, side lunge to the left. And squat, back with the right, and squat out to the side on the right, and squat, left leg back, and squat, left leg to the side. We have one more. Squat, right leg back, and squat, right leg out, and squat, left leg back, and squat, left leg out. Come back to the center, do a shoulder roll, and one last time, wits end in a flexion. So reach up through the crown of your head and roll down. Hang your head. Take an inhale here, and on the exhale, pull your pelvic floor up. Pull your navel back and up. Just roll it right up the front of your shins, right up the front of your thighs. And when you come up to the top, do a shoulder roll back. Do a shoulder roll forward. And I hope you enjoyed this little standing workout. I hope you'll join me for the mat work out with the roller. See you in a minute.